Donald Trump is incapable of running anything, let alone the most powerful country in the history of the world. And God help us if he gets anywhere near that White House in the future.
So that was just the start of yet another devastating new ad against Trump I have for you all today. And I know how much you guys love the anti-Trump ads. We've seen them from the Lincoln Project.
Your dad. Does it hurt your feelings? Of course it does. The tick, tick, tick.
From Republican voters against Trump.
Trump has been charged with 88 felonies and found liable for sexual assault. If Trump is too big of a liability to get a job at your local mall, he is too big of a liability to be president of the United States.
But now, even more organizations are getting in on the fun. Because that man is Sean McGarvey, and he is the president of North America's Building Trades Unions, the NABTU. But despite what he said there,
Donald Trump is incapable of running anything.
He actually struck quite a different tune back in 2017 when he initially praised then-President Trump for committing to improve the lives of labor workers. Which of course he didn't, which we'll see in a sec, but here's what he had to say back then.
We just had probably the most incredible meeting of our careers with the president and the vice president and the senior staff when the president laid out his plans about how he's going to handle trade, how he's going to invest in our infrastructure, and how he's going to level the playing field for construction workers and all Americans across this country. And then took the time to take everyone into the Oval Office and show them the seat of power in the world. The respect that the President of the United States just showed us, and when he shows it to us, he shows it to 3 million of our members in the United States, was nothing short of incredible.
Right, but that respect was about as meaningful as a degree from Trump University. Because it's one thing to say something, but another thing completely to actually do it. Trump couldn't have cared less about union workers. He spent his time cutting taxes for corporations, sparking trade wars, and generally being a certified idiot. Actually, one of the only legitimate degrees Trump University offered there.
Well, that was then, and this is now. Fast forward to today, where the NABTU is endorsing President Joe Biden's 2024 campaign and launching a nationwide effort to keep Trump from ever returning to the White House. In a statement and an accompanying video, the group's President Sean McGarvey says Trump broke those promises he made to union leaders when he first took office.
You would never abuse power as retribution against anybody.
Except for day one.
Donald Trump, he's not a good man. He's not a good person. He does not care about anybody in this world except Donald Trump. That's it. That's all.
A very clear and present danger.
Now he's looking to get in that position again to exert revenge on people. I go all the way back to the 80s with Donald Trump and him trying to, get his mug on page 6 of the New York Post. The only difference between the Donald Trump of the 80s and the Donald Trump of today is he feels totally free to let his dark side out. And his dark side is very, very dark and very, very dangerous for this country. We can't let our democracy that we've worked for and we've cherished just disintegrate with the wrong leader at the wrong time. I can tell you that he personally committed to me that he was going to get our pensions fixed. He understood who was affected by these pensions. He assured me, I'm the President of the United States, I'll just call Mitch, I'll tell him to put it in the bill. Is everybody gonna love me? Everybody loves me, right? Is everybody gonna love me? Yes, Mr. President, you fix the pension, everybody's gonna love you. Well, that was wasted breath. There was lots of other things put in that bill. There was tax cuts put in that bill for rich people. Donald Trump promised infrastructure every year.
Infrastructure is the easiest of all.
Donald Trump was not interested in any of the policy that actually goes along with being President of the United States. Trump was interested in the pomp and circumstance, the plane, the helicopter. It's all about him. Donald Trump is incapable of running anything, let alone the most powerful country in the history of the world.
Donald Trump is incapable of running anything, except his mouth, of course.
Glory be to
And Trump's inadequacy is a sentiment we've been hearing a lot lately.
Donald Trump's level of legal liability, this guy couldn't get a job at the local mall. You know, a fast food restaurant wouldn't hire him with his record.
If you wouldn't do business with him, if you wouldn't hire him, if you wouldn't associate him, why would you give him the nuclear codes? Why would you make him the commander-in-chief?
And it's good to see that one of the largest trade union organizations in the country is recognizing that. But they're not just recognizing how bad Trump is, because as McGarvey explains in this next clip, they know they can't change the minds of many of their own members who follow Trump blindly.
What do you say to hardworking Americans who don't have time to, clue in on every detail of every trial he's involved with or every promise he made, who support Trump almost blindly, but they connect with him, even members of your union? What do you say to them about who this man is?
Well, quite honestly, we're not going to waste a lot of time talking to every American that supports Donald Trump, and we're not going to waste a lot of time with some of our members that support Donald Trump, because we're not going to change their minds.
So instead, they're shifting to supporting Joe Biden and touting all of his accomplishments around infrastructure and supporting workers.
What we're going to concentrate on is the 10 to 15% of our members who we can have a conversation with and explain to them the facts. Give them the projects that they're actually working on, the way they're feeding their family today. We call it the infrastructure generation that Joe Biden's creating. And in our opinion, it's the only time in history we can compare it to is when the GIs came back from saving the world from tyranny in World War II and came back to build the middle class in their own lives after they saved the world. That's kind of the scale that we're at right now, with the most pro-union president that this country, pro-worker president that this country has ever seen. So that's the conversations that we're having.
And as you see there, he is not alone. Look at all those other unions that support Joe Biden because of what he's been able to accomplish with the infrastructure bill and his general pro-union, pro-worker policies and support. And all of that is clearly exemplified in the latter half of this very same ad, which plays in stark contrast to the first.
The president signed the bipartisan infrastructure bill, CHIPS and Science
the
Act,
Landmark Inflation Reduction Act.
Hard-fought victory for the president.
These massive pieces of legislation have been passed. It's incredible, but it isn't like Schoolhouse Rock, okay? There's lots of work to be done after the president actually signs a bill. They can write the rules so the rules work for working people. They can write the rules so the rules don't work for working people. The language that President Biden put in the legislation, he's got everybody covered. Forgot about nobody. It's been amazing.
15 million new jobs in just 3 years. 800,000 new manufacturing jobs in America and counting.
So many times we were promised, and then nobody really delivered. Once again, somebody comes in and promises, only lo and behold, delivering. North America's building trade unions couldn't be more proud or dedicated to the endorsement of Joseph Biden and Kamala Harris for President and Vice President of the United States of America. We will use everything at our disposal in our quest to have Joe Biden reelected as the President of the United States. You can count on NAB2 getting it done.
Thanks for watching, folks. If you liked the video, please drop a like, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you get notified when we drop more. And let me know all your thoughts on that incredible ad, Trump's utter incompetence, or Joe Biden's infrastructure and pro-union track record. I'd love to hear what you guys think down below, especially anybody who is a part of or has been part of a union before. For Really American, I'm Kenny Hesse, and I'll see you guys in the next one.